What is going on, everybody? I am the original gamer, Stevie Stroh, and we are back for yet another exciting chapter in programming with Extended Color Basic on the Radio Shack TRS-80 Color Computer. In this episode, we are going to cover Chapter 3, and I am taking all of this straight from the book that's called Getting Started with Extended Color Basic for the Color Computer 2. I did an introductory video that showed you where to go to download the book, where to go to download the Color Computer emulator, and how to set up, or if you want to create this classroom and do these exercises at home, you are more than welcome to. I've covered Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. We're now going to cover Chapter 3, which is the first official chapter where the book gets into teaching you how to program. And before we get started, let me just do a quick shout out to the Coco Crew podcast, one of my favorite podcasts to listen to in the entire world, and I listen to them religiously every single month. The Coco Crew podcast, you can catch them on iTunes and Stitcher. You can catch up on all the previous episodes by going to cococrew.org. They now have 10 episodes out there. I've been listening to them for almost 6 months now. I love these guys, Neil Blanchard and John Linville. Great stuff, news, technology, entertainment, game reviews. Check out the Coco Crew podcast for all things color computer. And we're going to jump in. We're on page 24 in Chapter 3, and we're going to do how to program, how to write a program, how to do programming, and deal with a couple of those types of things. So on the top of the page, it says, see how easy it is? Type in new and hit enter. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm typing in NEW. I'm hitting enter. The computer says OK. It says this erases whatever may be in the computer's memory. Now type this in and be sure you type in the number 10 first. That's important. 10 space print space quote. Hi, I'm your color computer, end quote. Hit enter. And now it says, did you press enter? Nothing happened, did it? Nothing you can see, that is. You just typed in your first program. Type run and hit enter. When I type in run, it says, hi, I'm your color computer, which is exactly what we told it to print. It says the computer obediently runs your program. Type run again and run it to your heart's content. Run, 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 run. That's as much as my heart can contend at this time. So it says your computer runs the program anytime you wish, as many times as you wish. Since this works so well, add another line to your program. Type 20 print, quote, what is your name, question mark, end quote, hit enter. Now it says type list. When you type in list is going to list out your program for you. It's going to list out the line numbers in your program. So line 10 says print, quote, hi, I'm your color computer. Line 20 says print, quote, what is your name? It says the computer obediently lists your entire program. Your screen should look exactly like this. 10 print, hi, I'm color computer. 20 print, what is your name? What do you think will happen when you run this? Try it. Type run and hit enter. The computer prints, hi, I'm your color computer. What is your name? Which is exactly what it says on the bottom of page 24. So let's scroll up to the next page. It says, answer the computer's question and type enter. When it says, what is your name? I'm going to type in, my name is who? My name is what? My name is Bicka. I don't know how to spell Bicka. Slim Shady. And the computer says syntax error. So whatever I put for my name, it's basically saying when you type your name in, the computer doesn't understand that. Understand what you mean. In fact, the computer can't understand anything unless you talk to it in its own way. Use a word the computer understands. Input. Type in this line. 30. Input a string. Remember the strings we did in the previous chapter? We're now inputting a string. This tells the computer to stop and wait for you to type something which is labeled as a string. And one more line to the program. Line 40. Print, quote, hi, comma, end quote, a string. I think they have a space. It kind of doesn't matter. So we're saying print hi, and then we're printing the a string. Let's hit enter. It says, can you guess what will happen when you run it? Type in run. What is your name? Slim Shady. Hi, Slim Shady. Hi, my name is who? My name is what? My name is Picky Slim Shady. Okay, so can you guess what will happen when you run it again? Type in run. So if we type in run and we say our name is Jane, it's going to say, hi, Jane. It says run the program again a few different times. Type in Hugo. Hi, Hugo. Run it again. Type in 772. I just hit clear. I don't know what the heck I just hit. Okay. Run 772-36-8228. And it's going to say hi, that. That actually looks like somebody's social security number. I wonder if I can do some identity theft with that. All right. Hi, I'm your computer. What's your name? If I run it again and I type in none of your business, it's going to say hi, none of your business. You get the point here. If I run it again and say, I get it, it's going to say, hi, I get it. Your computer doesn't care what you call yourself. Here's what line 30 did to your computer's memory.
At GSoft, we make games for the TRS-80 Color Computer, TRS-80 MC10, and Dragon computers. Our basic games cover the range of genres from arcade, to text adventures, to simulations, to 3D dungeon crawls. This is our latest puzzle game from Japan, Fruit Panic. So come on and drop by our website and download our latest games.
We're at the bottom of page 25. So if you look now on the top of page 26, there's a little thought balloon right here where it says your computer's memory, a string first equaled Jane, then it equaled Hugo, then it equaled somebody's social security number, then it equaled none of your business, then it equaled I get it. And so there's an easier way to run your computer, to run your program over and over without having to type in the run command. Type in this line here. In line 50, say go to 10. So if I say 50, go to 10, and you look at it right down here, so what's going to happen is line 10 is going to print, hi, I'm your color computer. Line 20 is going to say, what is your name? Line 30 is going to input a string. Line 40 is going to say, hi, whatever string you just typed. And line 50 will go all the way back. And it says this will happen over and over again until you press the break key. And it says your program now runs perpetually. Each time it gets to line 50, it goes back to line 10. We call this a loop. The only way you can stop this endless loop is by pressing the break key, which on a real color computer is the red break key in the top right-hand corner. But on our emulator, I believe it is actually the escape key. So let's try this right now. Hello, what is your name? Steve. Hi, Steve. Hello, what is your name? Stro. Hi, Stro. Hello, what is your name? Original. Hi, Original. Hello, what is your name? Gamer. Hi, Gamer. So now, all right, so I figured out how to break out of it. On the color computer emulator, it's end. So if I say, hi, my name is Steve, it's going to keep doing this. But if I press end on the keyboard, that's the break key in the emulator. So I just broke out of this. So run it forever until you hit break. It says there's a big chance you can simply... wait a second. Run and watch what this loop does. When you've seen enough, press the break key. There's a big change you can make simply by adding a comma or a semicolon. Try the comma first. Type line 40 again, but with a comma at the end. So line 40, let's do a list here real quick and see what that was. Line 40 says print hi, comma, quote a string. Now it's saying print a strings, comma. So in 40 it says print a strings, comma. Run the program. So what is your name? Steve. Steve. Hi, I'm your color computer. What is your name? That's weird. Okay. Fred. Fred. Hi, I'm your color computer. What is your name? Press break again, which is end on the keyboard. So 40 print a strings, comma. There's a big change you can make by adding a comma or a semicolon at the end of the name. So press break. So now it says for line 40, try print a string, semicolon. So if I go back and look at line 40, we go to 40, print a string, semicolon. That's a semicolon. And I run it. What is your name? Steve. Now the word Steve is right next to when it loops. So what they're showing us here is before, when I did a comma, it kind of tabbed things over. When I do a semicolon, it kind of flushes them together. So what it's saying here, the rules on punctuation. That is what punctuation at the end of a print line makes the computer do. A comma makes the computer go to the next column, use it to print in columns. A semicolon makes the computer stay where it is, Use it to cram what you want to print together. No punctuation makes the computer go to the next line. Use it to print in rows. So you can do a column, which is vertical. You can do a semicolon, which crams things together, or you can do nothing and have it skip rows when it goes down. So now that was our first program. So it says you want to play sound and color. Want to play with some sound and color some more? First erase the memory. Do you remember how? Well, if I'm not mistaken, it was to type in the word new. Now, ironically, because I didn't read ahead in the book, I kind of gave you a little preview of how to change color and sound at the end of chapter 2, but we're going through the book, so we'll do this again. Mine was a little bit cooler because it did it randomly, but let's go ahead and type in line 10 here. So line 10 says print, quote, to make me change my tone, end quote. Line 20 says print, quote, type in a number from 1 to 255, end quote. Line 30 says input T. Now notice there's no $sign here, so this is not a string variable, this is a numeric variable. Line 40 says sound T, comma 50. So whatever number you type in there, it's going to play it for the length of 50 cycles. And then line 50 says go to 10. If I list this out here, here's my line numbers, right? So line 10 says print to make me change my tone. Line 20 says type in a number from 1 to 255. Line 30 says input T, which is the actual tone. Line 40 is going to sound that tone. Line 50 is going to go all the way back up to 10 again. So let's go ahead and try it. So from 1 to 255. Well, let's jump right in the middle. Let's do right around 128. There's my 128 tone. Okay, let's go a little bit higher. Let's go to 224. That's a higher tone. Let's go a little bit lower. Let's go down to 8. So there's our low tone. So now we can see that we can make this thing sound numbers for us based on when you do this. So it says run through the program and get the sample tones. It says bug. If you get a FC or function call error when you run this program, you used a number other than 1 through 255. This error, like all errors, will make your computer stop running a program. What happens if you change line 40 to sound 50, comma T? It says hint. Look back to chapter 1 where we talked about sound. So if we hit end key here to break. So right now line 40 says sound T, which is whatever we input for our tone, for a cycle of 50. If we say sound 50, comma T, what's going to happen now is that the tone is going to be fixed to whatever frequency 50 is, but the length is going to be variable based on what we enter in for our tone. So when we run this again, right now, what if I hit number 10, it's doing that frequency for short. If I do number 50, it's doing the same frequency for longer. If I do 1, it's really short. All right. So we flip things around in the number we're inputting now. Instead of that number signifying the pitch of the sound, it's actually signifying the length of the sound. It says, you know the answer? If you make the above change, the computer hums the same tone each time, but for a different length and time depending on what number you use. Now it says, do it yourself program. Let's hit break, which is end on our PC keyboard. It says, press bake first and then erase the program by typing in new. Now just to see if I type in list, yeah, there's nothing here. I can clear my screen. What is it saying now? Hit new first and erase the program. Now see if you can write a program similar to the one above to make the computer show a certain color. Remember, there are 9 colors, 0 through 8. Hint, line 40 should be CLST. So if we were to do the same thing right now, so line 10 should say print, quote, would you like me to color the screen? I don't even know how many characters that is. I only have 32 characters to type. So let's do some shorthand here. Let's make it say, wanna change colors? Question mark, quote. 20 say print, enter a number from 0 through 8, end quote. Line 30 will say, input T. Line 40 should say CLS-T. And line 50 should go to 10. So let's review this logic. Let's see if my brain is working properly at almost midnight on a Sunday night. So line 10 should say print quote, want to change colors? Line 20 should say print quote, enter a number between 0 and 8. These are prompts that are going to show up. Line 30 is going to give an input question mark prompt where it's going to register a numeric variable that we will label the letter T. Line 40 is going to clear the screen in that color we specify. Line 50 is going to make it loop. Line 50 is going to go all the way back to 10, and it's going to keep doing this over and over again in a loop. So let's try it right now. If we hit run, want to change colors? Fro. Enter a number fro, bro. So let's do line 0. Yes, that worked. But how about we fix my typing? Let's re-enter line 20. Print, enter a number from 0 through 8, end quote. Run. Now if we spell properly. Want to change colors? Enter a number from 0 to 8. So we did 0, that did it black. If I do 1, that's green. If I do 2, that's yellow. If I do 3, that's blue. If I do 4, that's red. If I do 5, that's buff, which is white. 6 is that teal, I guess. I don't know what the heck that color is. 7 is your purple or your burgundy, and 8 is your orange, which actually looks like peach on this screen here. But there we go. There's the program. Let's break out of the program. This was our test. They tested us. Could we do this? They're basically saying, based on the program that we showed you and how to prompt for a sound, see if you can repeat that same concept and prompt for colors. I think we did it. Line 10 gives you your opening question here. Would you like to change colors? Line 20 says enter a number between 0 and 8, which is then basically your color range. Line 30 is inputting a numeric variable named T. Line 40 is coloring the screen and the value of that variable. And line 40 is repeating the process. We did it. We ran through the process. I think it was a success. Let's scroll down to the next page and see if we got it right. In our program, line 10, print to make me change my color. Print, type a number between 0 and 8. 30 input T, 40 clear screen T, 50 go to 10. Pretty much the same thing. What they did is they actually put T's in parentheses, which you could do as well. There's nothing wrong with that. The way we did it was also going to work, but they put it in parentheses, which I actually don't think they've even explained that to us yet, but that's okay. Press break. Pressing the break key is a sloppy way to stop the program from running. Why not have the computer politely ask you if you're ready to end? Change line 50 in the above program to this. So in line 50, alright, so in line 50, let's go back here now and let's change the thing. So do you want to see it another color? So for line 50, we're going to type in 50 print, quote, do you want to see another color? Question mark, end quote. Line 60, we're going to say input R string, like R for response. Input R string for a response. Line 70 is our first conditional logic here. If R string equals quote yes, if we type in yes, then 20. And you could say then go to 20 as well, but we're just doing some shorthand here. Then 20, which is just going to go back to the first line here. So it's not going to repeat the first question. It's going to go back to the second question, which is enter a number. So let's try that. It says line 50 prints the question. Line 60 tells the computer to stop and wait for the answer, which is labeled as R string. Line 70 tells the computer to go back to 20 if and only if the answer is yes. If not, the program ends since it has no more lines. Let's try it, shall we? Let's run this. Want to see me change? Want to change the colors? Enter a number between 0 and 8. Let's do 4. There's our red. Do you want to see another color? Yes. Enter another number, 3. Do you want to see another color? Yes. Enter a different number, 2. Do you want to see another color? Yes. Let's enter 8. That's our highest color. Do you want to see another color? At this point, if you hit enter, it ends the program. So this is a program with conditional logic. Let's look at it again. Let's relist the program and see what this all means. So line 10 printed the question. Well, it's a question because we phrased it that way, but line 10 printed the text that says, want to change colors with a question mark. Line 20 says print enter a number from 0 to 8. Line 30 inputs a variable which is labeled as T. Line 40 then clears the screen into that variable. Line 50 then asks the question, do you want to see another color? Oh, actually I put a question mark and the book didn't have me put a question mark. All right, my bad. I'm sorry for using punctuation. I learned grammar. So then it says, do you want to see another color? Input R string for response. If you type in yes, it'll go all the way back to line 20 and ask you for a new color, clear the screen, ask you if you want to do it again. If you keep typing yes, then 70 is going to keep going back to 20 and around and around and around. If you type in anything other than yes, it's going to go to the next line, which is no line in the program will end. So chapter 3 was actually teaching you how to write a couple of programs that not only output information and ask questions, but then input variables from us and then reacted based on what we gave it. So we were able to give it notes to generate sound. We were able to give it numbers to generate color. So this is a slightly different version of the program I had us write at the end of chapter 2. And at the end of this chapter now, it's basically saying, and then here's a couple sidebars here. It says, don't worry about the if-then right now. We'll devote an entire chapter to that later. So that's okay. We've covered a lot of ground in this chapter. Hope we're just whetting your appetite for more. Don't worry if you don't yet understand it perfectly. Just enjoy using your computer. So what are the summaries in chapter 3? We learned new words. We learned new, which is a command to clear memory. We learned input, which is a command to capture input from the user and then store that in either a numeric or string variable. We learned go to, which is making a program go back to another portion of the program. We learned the run command, which is the command you type to run the program. We learned the print command. We learned print with a comma, which prints things in columns, print with a semicolon, which mashes things together, and normal print just prints on new lines. We learned the list command, which lists out your program. We learned a little bit about if and then, just a little bit, where it says if our strings equals yes, then go to 20. And it says don't worry about if and then right now. We will devote an entire chapter to that. So even though it introduced us to those words, it's going to explain them even more betterer in a future chapter. The concept is how to change or delete a program line, and the keyboard we learned was the break key. If you have any notes, kindly write these notes right in this area here. Make sure they don't go over the margin or don't get anything down here. This is where I draw all my smiley faces. And that is the end of chapter 3 for getting started with extended color basic for the Radio Shack TRS-80 Color Computer, also known as the Coco. I have been the original gamer, Stevie Stroh. I hope you enjoyed this fascinating, exciting, wonderful video on how to program a computer to annoy the heck out of you. And we are just getting started, folks. We got more programming to do. I hope you've enjoyed this so far. This is bringing back memories for me. This is how I taught myself how to use a computer when I was just a dumb kid. Now I'm a dumb adult, but still, it's fun. And I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun too. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, to subscribe to the channel, to throw out a comment, and to share this with your friends. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all next time. Peace out. Long live the Coco, and bye-bye, everybody.